"I love you, Beth Cooper," to the most popular girl in school. Beth Cooper, of course, is stunning, confident, and way out of Dennis's league. She's sitting in the audience, flanked by her two best friends. And the look on her face? Equal parts shocked and amused. Dennis, though, doesn't stop there. Oh no. He goes on to roast the bullies, call out his best friend Rich for allegedly being gay, which Rich hilariously denies. And by the time he's done, Denis decides to invite Beth to a party at his house that evening. It's a bold move, but hey, he's already gone all in, so why not? Beth doesn't exactly say yes, but she doesn't say no either, leaving Denis with a shred of hope. After graduation, Denis heads home, bracing for the awkwardness of having just professed his undying love. Enter Rich, his quick-witted, movie-obsessed best friend. Back at home, Denis and Rich start preparing for their so-called party, which is really just the two of them hanging out in Denise's living room. While setting up, Denise's dad walks in, holding a box of condoms. Yes, really. What follows is one of the most hilariously uncomfortable parent-son talks you'll ever see. And then it happens. A knock at the door. Who's standing there? Beth Cooper herself, in all her effortlessly cool glory. Beth's not alone. She's got her two besties, Cammie and Treese, with her. They've shown up to hang out. Denise is understandably freaking out on the inside, but trying to play it cool, which, spoiler alert, he totally fails at. Beth, being the wild card she is, decides Denise's boring suburban house party needs an upgrade. And just like that, Dennis's safe, structured world is thrown out the window. But things take a sharp turn when Beth's boyfriend Kevin shows up at Dennis's house. He storms in with his buddies, ready to make Dennis regret every word of his speech. The tension is palpable as Kevin confronts Dennis, who's too terrified to do much more than stammer. Rich tries to defuse the situation with his usual quips, but realizing they're cornered, Dennis and Rich pull off a desperate escape by jumping out the window, with Dennis crashing onto the lawn and Rich somehow landing mostly on his feet. As they scramble to recover, Beth pulls up in her car, shouting for them to get in. And in her rush to save the day, she accidentally clips Dennis with her car. He's fine, and they speed off into the night, leaving Kevin in a sputtering rage. What follows is one of those chaotic, one-night-to-remember adventures. Beth takes Dennis and Rich on a whirlwind tour of teenage rebellion. They hit up a convenience store where Beth's reckless driving and carefree attitude turn a simple snack run into a mini car chase. Dennis, bless his heart, is clinging to his seatbelt and questioning all his life choices, while Rich is fully leaning into the chaos. The peace doesn't last long. As they hit the road again, they're flagged down by none other than Dennis's dad, standing under a streetlight like some kind of suburban sheriff. He's furious about the broken window back at the house, but more than that, he's concerned about Dennis's safety. Then comes the classic high school party scene. Beth's crew crashes a different party, one full of classmates who wouldn't give Dennis or Rich the time of day. Dennis, feeling out of place, sneaks away and ends up in an awkward heart-to-heart with one of the school's notorious bullies. Surprisingly, the bully confesses his own insecurities and admits he admires Dennis for his bold graduation speech. Meanwhile, Kevin shows up again, escalating the chaos. Dennis and Rich find themselves in another desperate situation, but out of nowhere, the same bully Dennis had bonded with earlier steps in. Just when things seem like they can't get any crazier, Beth crashes her car through the party to rescue them. Things take an unexpected turn when they end up at their high school. Beth and her friends decide to put on a cheerleader dance routine. Under the stadium lights, Beth leads a hilariously energetic cheer. Afterward, Beth and the girls head to the showers. Denis hesitates, while Rich dives in headfirst, joining the girls without hesitation. Denis is standing outside the locker room, panicking, when Kevin shows up yet again. This time, Rich steps in. Armed with nothing but a wet towel, Rich takes down Kevin and his crew like a martial arts master. Rich explains that he perfected his towel whipping technique as a kid after being bullied, and it's finally paying off. Denis, bruised but alive, is in awe. As they drive away, Denis gets a tampon to stop the bleeding. They head to a cabin, finally finding a quiet place to unwind. Denis and Beth share a moment on the porch. Meanwhile, Rich is inside with Beth's friends. Beth's two besties decide to experiment with Rich, connecting on a deeper level as Beth lets her walls down even more. As the sun rises and reality sets back in, Beth and her friends drive Dennis and Rich home. It's bittersweet. Beth and Dennis share one last moment, a promise that if they're still single at their reunion, they'll get together. Beth, Cammie, Treese head off into the distance, forever changed by the night's adventures. Denise and Rich hug, and just like that, it ends. Chaotic, heartfelt, and totally unforgettable. I Love You, Beth Cooper isn't just about unrequited love or high school antics. It's about breaking out of your comfort zone, seeing people for who they really are, and embracing the messy, unpredictable beauty of life. It's funny, heartfelt, and just the right amount of absurd. And honestly, it'll leave you smiling, even if you're cringing a little along the way.